Hello everybody, welcome back to Red Tool House. Today we're kicking off broiler season, and I've had the broilers in the brooder and it's time to get the tractors going, but we've got a little bit of an issue here. So come along and let's see what happened. So in the wintertime, when we go to retire our chicken tractors, we have three. When we go to retire those for the season, there's really no clear place to put them. Obviously it'd be nice to put them in a shelter, that way they're not weathered. But I don't have that much shelter space, and the stuff that I do is too precious to just put the tractors in. So I thought it'd be nice to just tuck it right up here outside of our pasture, right against the hill. The storms come this way, so maybe they would be okay. Well, not realizing I put it right up against a red oak snag that was completely dead, and it gave up the ghost sometime this winter, early spring. And wouldn't you know it, this is my oldest chicken tractor that was due for some repairs. These are my two newer ones, and it fell across the back corner of this one and the front corner of that one. So this one's taking the brunt of the damage, and we're gonna see what we need to do to fix that one and the back corner here. Hopefully the back corner is just some bent pipe. But first thing I need to do is get this offender off of my tractor and see what we can assess and get him pulled out. All right, so tractor number one that didn't get hit by the tree simply just needs its ridge beam straightened and reset. So that's not a problem. That'll be easy to do. And of course needs a new tarp. Number two is not too bad either. So just straighten out this section of conduit. It tore out the top frame of the door, so that's why the door is all wonky, but I can fix that pretty easily as well. One big hole in the tarp, and we got a tree limb sticking up. So I may be able to just patch that tarp. It's starting to get a wear spot in it, but cutting pieces off the tarp that need to be replaced, I can patch that fairly easily. Get one more year out of them. I always go back and forth on whether to buy the super good tarps that will last multiple years, and then you have a situation like this where something falls and it fails, or buy the cheap tarps, because the cheap tarps for this are like 10 bucks. And even if you replace it every year, when you look at the super expensive tarps that are $40, $50, $60, then you may be out ahead in the long run. So that's going to be an easy fix. So this one definitely took the brunt of it. So I got my main cross brace on the back here, has been torn out, and that was made out of poplar, so that one probably needs to be replaced anyway. This section of conduit bent big time, but I know I can actually straighten that back out. This conduit is quite pliable. But I noticed also this rail here, it appears to be busted in two, and it knocked everything off the treated, the verticals, it blew those out. So we may have to replace a good bit of the side of this. The other side stayed intact. And if you ever find yourself doing a lot of rough carpentry or even finished carpentry where you got to do a little bit of demo, getting one of these small pry bars, we've always called them cat's paws. But my dad bought me this when I first started building the garage apartment 23 years ago. And I use this thing constantly. So it's nicer than a larger pry bar because you can get into all these little fine spaces and be able to take care of smaller details without having to beat the crap out of something with a bigger pry bar. Well, so the original design of the Siskovich chicken tractor, which is what this is, if you're not familiar with it, was to have these notches cut in it. And I had them in the first run. This is ground contact wood, pressure treated lumber. But I've noticed on all of my tractors over time, of course, that becomes a weak spot when you notch that out. I know the reason John did it was to make the tractor as light as possible. Goodness, going through puberty. And also have attachment points for your wire. But I've realized over the years that I'd rather have a little bit more weight in the strength. So what I'm going to do is just face screw these on here and not utilize the notch. Another reason why is this is the two boards, replacement boards that I used, are just odd-offs off the mill. So they may have had a taper to them, got thicker on one end, whatever the case may be, or this one has a lot of wane in it. So it's thicker, and if I was to do a recess notch, a cut a dado is the proper term for that in there, or a lap joint, then I wouldn't be able to nail the thickness down directly anyway. I'd have to make my saw setup different on every single one. So, and then this just being pine, non-ground contact, I want it to be as thick and beefy as possible, so I don't want to take anything out of it. So it's going to keep it rigid, it's going to make it a little heavier, and it's going to save me a crap ton of time as well. I'm also going to flip these over. These are a little punky on the bottom, and that's where they were in that dado. So we're going to just turn them upside down and let that funkiness dry out for a year. Probably I'll have to replace these. I don't know, I may just replace them anyway. Yeah, you guys have talked me into it. I'm just going to go replace them. I got to go find some wood. All right, so we got everybody repaired. All three tractors have been mended. This one's ready to go. I think I'm going to get one more year out of that tarp. We'll see. I've got an extra one in the barn if we need it. But to replace the header here with a bigger, this is a piece of scrap maple I had, so that's extra sturdy. And once I get it on level ground, I'll be able to pull the gangster lean out of that door, but she should be good to go. These other two, we're going to put new tarps on, and I had Kelly stop by the local box store and said, "Hey, sweetheart, give me 2 tarps." And I couldn't remember the size. I said either 8 by 10 or 10 by 12. I'm not sure. I can never remember the size these things take. And so it was one of those deals where she calls me back, but I'm down here, so I can't answer the phone. So she made an executive decision. So she got me a 10 by 12 super heavy duty camouflage tarp. She always complains about my bright blue in the meadow, how it really makes the natural setting look nice. so she went with camouflage. $20 a piece. So hopefully these things will last a while, and I'll come out here in the middle of the day and won't be able to find my chickens because they'll be camouflaged. How many was that?
30.
Don't you look so cute there, Farmer Kel? That's sexy. Like, what in the world is this? Get a little dry around here. Water comes out of it. Murky. All right. So we had 27, 28, and 27, correct? So that's 82 birds. So we ordered 100. We actually had quite a bit of loss at the very beginning, and Meyer Hatchery made up for it. They reimbursed us, and we got another run from them coming here in a couple weeks. So hopefully we'll have a better success rate there. My hose is clogged. That's too big. All right, so 82 birds, got them set. Tomorrow they'll be 4 weeks old, so that's 4 weeks in the brooder, 4 weeks on pasture. We may go, I think we have the trailer scheduled, it may be almost 5 weeks when it's time to process. But, so do you like the camouflage tarp better than the blue? Here, so.
Now they're incognito.
Yeah, I have to remember where I left them.
Not as obvious when you pull into the property.
Yeah. Everybody's going to think we're raising commando chickens now.
Militant.
It's like militia chickens. Well, the tree damage was able to be resolved, but that's part of farming. That's just when you think you got everything set up and your infrastructure's intact, and something like that happens, and you spend one full day working on this, getting it ready for the chickens. So it just is what it is. Anyone that tells you that homesteading and farming is a cheaper way of living is a liar.
That's for sure.
If you want to do this, you're going to spend lots of money. So it is what it is. Well, we appreciate everybody watching. You all have a great week. Take care.
Bye-bye.